Okay, so today we will speak about the construct relationship. And I know that this topic is not an easy one, especially for the new students. But as usually, we will try to explain everything as simple as possible. So first of all, I would like to explain what is a construct relationship. You know that Hebrew language is a good language because it doesn't have the case system. So what it means? It means that it is not like Greek language. In Greek language, we have like 3 declensions, and in every one we have different endings for the nouns. So there is no anything like this in the Hebrew language, and it is good. When in Hebrew language they need to make a relationship between the nouns or between the verb and nouns, usually the prepositions are used. And it is almost exactly as in English. But in Hebrew language, there is one construction which is called smichut in Hebrew terminology, but it is rarely called like this in biblical in biblical textbooks on biblical Hebrew. It is usually called the construct relationship, and the construct relationship is a kind of a case. It is a kind of a genitive case. And the genitive case usually governs the relationship between 2 nouns. And it is usually like a possessive case, or what else? In English, we usually express the same relationship with the help of the preposition of, or the possessive suffix s, like a daughter of a king, or the king's daughter. So both ways are possible. In Hebrew, it is called the construct relationship. And now I will try to understand what it means, the construct relationship. When 2 nouns are connected with as in the construct relationship, it means that they are connected so closely to each other, so they begin to function as one word. Not 2 words, but 1 word. So, for example, this expression, the daughter or a daughter of a king, Bat Melech, when these words are joined together, it means that it is already like 1 word, so it is one entity. The daughter of a king. And in order to make it, so it works like this, like 1 word is added to another word. And when those 2 words are joined together, the first word should stand in the construct state. So it should be changed, it should be modified somehow in order to accept another word, in order that the other word should be joined to it. So in this case, we have Bat Melech. Bat is daughter and Melech is king. So in this case, Bat is in a construct state and Melech is an absolute state. So we need to understand this. The first word in the word pair of construct relationship should be, and it is always, in the construct state. And the second word is an absolute state. So what it means, the second one doesn't change at all, but the first word should be changed somehow. It doesn't mean that it will be always changed, but according to the rules, it should be changed. And we will see some of the examples how the words are changed. And first of all, let us discuss the construct form of singular nouns. And when we speak about the singular nouns, we can see that some words do not change. So they remain the same. So their construct form and their absolute forms are the same. Just for example, 1 syllable nouns usually do not change, and they do not change if they have matres lectionis, like here. Do you see ish? So ish would be the same form for absolute and for the construct. This expression milchama means war. So ish milchama means a man of war. And this word doesn't change, so it remains the same because it has matres lectionis inside, and matres lectionis usually doesn't change. And if it is a short vowel like hirek or patach, so it will not change if it happens in the one-syllable noun. And we will see some examples later on. And another good thing that the Segolite nouns do not change in the singular form. So, for example, melech would be the same in absolute form and in construct form. Melech Shalom, a king of peace. Melech Israel, a king of Israel. What else? Melech Eretz, the king of the land. So every time Melech would be the same. It will not change. But if it doesn't change, it doesn't mean that anyway. So if it is in the place of the construct, in the construct place, so it should be in the construct state, but it just doesn't change. Okay, so is it clear so far?
Yes, Professor.
Okay, let's continue.
Yes, so far, Professor.
But most of the words,
Yes.
especially when most of the words, especially if it is like two-syllable words, they have some changes when they are put in the construct state. Usually, those changes are a matter of reduction of vowels. For example, a word of a king, devar melech, devar melech. So do you see what happens? The vowels in this word are changed in order that another word could be joined to this word. And why it happened? It happened for one reason. As I told you, this construction devar melech is like a one word. And what happens in this case? In this case, the accent or emphasis, the first word, which is a construct state, it loses its emphasis, or it loses accent. So the accent in this case is shifted to this word, devar melech. And because of that, all vowels in the first word should be pronounced as soon as possible. And that is why the reduction of vowels takes place, because we need to say the first word as soon as possible in order to come to the word which has a stress or which has an accent or emphasis. So that is why the vowels here are changed. For example, davar is absolute form and devar is construct form, construct state of the same noun. Devar melech means a word of a king, and devar is a construct state and melech is an absolute state. Or another example, bet avadim, a servant's house or a house of servants. So in this case, we have...
Excuse me.
Yes?
Excuse me, please. What is the rule for changing the absolute form to construct form? I just see the vowels have changed, but what has led those vowels to change the way they have changed?
Okay, so I will try to explain it to you a little bit later. But I need to tell you from just now that do you see, the rules of changing are very complicated, and I don't want you to spend a lot of time trying to memorize those rules, but I will articulate them for you a little bit later. Okay. So what we need to remember, do you remember those vowels which are changeable and the vowels which are not changeable? Okay, let us speak about it a little bit later. So now we can see bait is the absolute form, and bet is the construct state. So bet would be the construct state of bayit. And when we have this expression like house of somebody, so it will be always bet. So house of servants would be bet avadim. Just how do you say house of David? Bet David. Yes, or like house of bread.
Bethlehem.
Lechem. Bethlehem, the accent is on the first syllable, Bethlehem. So do you see, it is actually very simple. Okay, so yes, if you have the feminine nouns, and the feminine nouns usually have ending kametz hey, so this kametz hey is transformed to patach taf. So let us see several examples. Behema, an animal, and the construct form would be behemat. Torah, law, and the construct form would be Torat, a law of. So usually we will see this kind of changes will happen in feminine nouns. Let's give you some more examples. Torah, Behema, what other, for example, Olah. Olah is a burnt sacrifice. So how can we do the construct? The burnt sacrifice of a king.
Olat Melech.
Yes, yes. So let me put it here. Sorry. Olat Melech. Is it possible to make it bigger? Okay, but you can see it, yes? Yes, or what else? Olat Melech. Which other noun, another noun which is feminine, do you know? Ola, Bagema. Okay, so but you understood the principle. The feminine noun will have ending patach taf, and this will be the construct form of the noun. Okay, let me come back to the, yes. You can see the screen now, yeah? Now, about the, yes, some examples for you in order to see how the reduction of vowels take place. And some of the nouns are irregular. So what it means, they do the construct form, they make the construct form in irregular way. So it means that we cannot predict, like for example, bayit will be bet, or for example, isha, a woman, but in the construct state it will be eshet, a woman of or wife of. Ach would be ahi, af would be avi. So in those cases, or ben would be ben, and it would have the vowel. Do you see it was tsere, but it was transformed to sigol. In those cases, it is very difficult to predict how they will do, what will be the behavior of the vowels. But there is some usual rules that we can follow in order to understand what kind of reduction took place. And I would like to show you several examples. For example, the first vowel of the word would be, according to the rules, should be reduced to shiva, if it is possible. But in this case, you can see that adon, we have kamets, and in the construct state, it is transformed to compound shiva, so it's normal. The next vowel is also supposed to be reduced, but this vowel is a cholim vav, and cholim vav is matres lectionis, and cholim vav is a long vowel, and usually the long vowels have like immune system against reducing, so they are not reduced at any case. So in this case, we see that adon, cholim vav, is not reduced because it is a long vowel and because it is a matres lectionis, so it cannot be reduced. So ahi, we can see that changes. We have some changes in the vowels, and this e is added, but it is irregular one, so we cannot explain this. It is just done like this. Isha, eshet is also irregular, so it is beyond any explanations. Bait, bet is also irregular. But davar, devar is regular, and we can predict what kind of changes can place. So you can see that the first vowel, it is kamets, and it is reduced to shiva. It is reduced to shiva. And the second vowel, which is also kamets, is reduced to patach. And patach is shorter than kamets. So we had davar, and after that we have devar. The same is true with the yad. Usually it is not changed, but because it is kamets, and kamets is quite a long vowel, it is reduced to patach, yad, yad. Kol, this is all, and this is kol, all off. So if it is added with the makef to another word, it will be all off. But in the translation, it doesn't make sense very much, and usually you can translate just all. But technically, it is preferable to say all of something or somebody. So next one, levav. Do you see tzere here is reduced to sheva, and kamets is reduced to patach, a heart of somebody. Next word, mishpat, mishpat. And here, hirek. Hirek is a short vowel. And because it happens in a closed syllable, so it is not reduced. It is not reduced. Because it is already short and it doesn't have space to be shortened more. So it remains as it is. But kamets, next kamets, mishpat, judgment. Where is it? The kamets is reduced to patach. Sadeh, a field, and it will be sadeh. So I cannot explain why segol is transformed to tzere, but the first one, kamets, is clear, it is reduced to shiva. So we can see the general rule. In the first syllable, kamets and tzere will be reduced to shiva. In the second syllable, if it is kamets, it will be reduced to patach, usually, and segol sometimes it behaves irregularly. But these are the general rules of the reduction of vowels. And the last word, shalom, is transformed to shalom. Kamets is reduced to shiva, and cholim vav is matres lectionis. That is why it is not reduced at all. So the simple rule, the vowels which are not changed, these are matres lectionis, and the short vowels, especially when they happens in the closed syllable, so they are not they are not changed. But I need to tell you that sometimes we need to check against the dictionary which be the correct form of the vowel. Now, is it clear so far?
Excuse me, Prof.
Yes, please.
Can we say that when we are forming the construct state, then it's like reducing the vowel into short form?
Yes.
When we are forming the construct.
Yes.
And therefore, if the vowel is already short, there is no need of reducing it.
Yes, yes, correct, correct. So if the vowel is already short, it cannot be reduced. But the vowels that could be reduced, they are reduced. And as I told you, the short vowels, especially when they are in a closed syllable, they are not reduced. And the matres lectionis are not reduced because they have a privileged position in the language, so they cannot be reduced. Okay, so let's continue. And now let us speak about the plural form, construct state of plural form. And actually, this is a comprehensive table which shows all the changes that happened with the nouns. Let us see the singular. So in singular, we can see that there is no ending. So davar, devar, only the reduction of vowels take place. But there is no any additional ending in the masculine for the vowels, for the words, for the nouns. But for feminine, as we already discussed, kametz he is transformed to patachtav. So this is the usual rule for the singular. And let us see for the plural. It's very easy actually to find the construct form in plural because it has a specific ending in masculine form. Usually, always the suffix or ending of the plural noun masculine is im, what we have.
Devarim.
Mishpatim, devar, devarim. Yes. In the construct state, it will be tsere yot. So this im, mem is lost, and it would be tsere yot. Like devarim, divrei, Elohim, Eloheh, shofetim, shofteh, and so on and so forth. So if you see tsere yod in the end of the word, it will be unmistakably the construct state of plural masculine noun. When we speak about feminine, there is no changes. So torot would be torot everywhere. So it would be in the construct and absolute state the same. Behema, behemot, beracha, berachot. So it will not have any changes. So absolute and construct form for the plural nouns in feminine would be the same. And if you speak about the dual form, actually dual form almost the same, but it doesn't occur very often, so I don't want to spend much time explaining this because it's quite rare. But we can see that in the masculine it would be the same as for the plural form, and in the feminine it could be a little bit different because it would have tough ending. So this is the only difference. Okay, now we have another important issue that we need to discuss. As I told you, two words in the construct relationship, they are considered as one word. So this construction is inseparable. It means nothing can be between these two words. So you cannot say like a daughter of a good king. So in English, we put good inside this construction. But in Hebrew, it is impossible. So if we say bat melech, so nothing could be, nothing can separate these two words because they are connected together very closely. The only particle that can be between them is the article. So article is possible. And one more interesting case we need to discuss. Actually, the word in the construct state can never have an article. So, for example, if we have an expression Habat Melech, it would be incorrect expression. So in Hebrew, it is impossible. The word in the construct state cannot have an article. But the word in the absolute state can have an article. So we cannot say Habat Melech, but we can say Bat HaMelech. So it is possible. Or Ben HaMelech, the son of the king. And in this case, because they consider these two words as one entity, if the word in absolute form has a definite article, ha, it means that the entire construction is definite. Yes, Pastor Poswa? What is the
question?
Yes.
I see here on Eretz Ha'am.
Yes.
Is it not supposed to be the land of the people because there is the definite article there?
Correct. Thank you very much for your. So can you see it now?
Yes, Prof. Thank you.
Yes, yeah, this is correct. It was my mistake. So Eretz Ha'am should be translated the land of the people because Am, people, has article Ha. So it means the entire construction, this phrase is definite. So it is exactly this land of these people, not just a land of people, but this exactly definite land. So the same is Ben HaMelech, the son of the king. So all the construction is definite. And we cannot put an article before the noun in a construct state. So this one is clear, I hope. Yes?
Sorry, Professor, just
yes.
to know if I have to translate from English to Hebrew, a son of the king. So how do we do that?
Again, Pastor Harry?
How can we write in Hebrew, a son of the king? A son, not the son. It's indefinite one.
A son of the king. So the king is definite and the son is indefinite. One of the sons of the king, yes? So it is impossible to say in this construction, but they probably will use another construction.
Okay.
But not this one. This one will be definite for both of them. So it is either indefinite or definite, and because they consider it as one word, so they consider everything is definite if one word is definite. Okay.
Excuse me, Prof.
Yes, please.
Kindly, I would like to understand the second sentence.
Yes.
I can't see the article because her arm is people.
No, arm is people and ha is article.
Her arm is people.
No. Ha is article, yes, and arm is people.
Arm is people.
Yes. So her arm would be the people.
And on the land, I can't see the article here. Is it okay, or that's how we should read it?
Yes. So because Eretz is in the construct state, we cannot put article here. It is impossible.
Okay.
So Eretz Ha'am, and we translated the land of the people, because all this phrase is definite, because here there is an article, and this is construct form, and we cannot add
You cannot
article
put
to
the
construct.
article.
Okay, so this is
Please,
yes.
I have a question there.
Yes, please.
How can we discover that this one, the Eretz, is a construct, and yet we don't have Makef there?
Yes, sometimes it is added with the Makef, sometimes it is not. It is just so how do we know? We can see it only with the context, because we can see two words together, Eretz and Ha'am, and both of them are nouns. And if we have two words and two nouns together, it most probably the case of the construct state. So in this case, the first word is the construct state, and another word in the absolute form. But Eretz doesn't change. Eretz doesn't change because it is a singular noun, and singular noun has the same form in construct in absolute form. So it doesn't change in this case. So only context can help us to understand that Eretz, in this case, in the construct relationship with the word ha'am. Okay?
Yes, excuse me, Prof.
Yes.
Okay.
Why is it that when I'm translating a son of a king, if I say the king's son, I'm translating in English from Hebrew. Why is it not correct?
Yes, a king's son is possible.
When we are translating, they cannot give it that mark to you. When you must say a son of a king, not the king's son.
Yeah, the king's son, so it's better to say definite article, yes?
Okay.
Yeah, because if you say just as a king's, is it possible to say a king's son?
I thought.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, we can do this.
In English, it's okay.
It's okay. So, yeah, okay, we can do it like this. A king's son. So in English, both ways are possible. And sometimes a king's son probably would be more preferable than a son of a king. But it depends on the context, on the situation.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Sorry, Prof.
Yes.
Can we also say that Ben is in the construct form?
Of course, because
that's why we cannot put the article.
Yes, yes. There is a difference because in
the vowel, the vowel.
Okay. But in the construct form it has a sigol. But Eretz is the same in both forms. Okay, so let us continue. One more tricky thing that we need to remember. As I told you, when we have two words in the construct relationship, and we need to qualify one of them with the adjective. So in this case, adjective will go after the construct word pair. For example, devar hamalka hatov. And in this case, do you see? We need to. It is not clear. This tov is refers to malka or to the devar. In this case, we can see that it refers to devar because devar is masculine and tov is masculine, and malka is feminine. So that is why we can translate the good word of a queen, of the queen, the good word of the queen, or the queen's good word. We can also say like this. But in the second example, we have devar hamalka hatova. In this case, hatova refers to malka because both of them are feminine and devar is masculine. So tova cannot refer to devar. And in this case, we need to translate it the word of the good queen or the good queen's word. But in case if we have both of them of the same gender, like both of them masculine or both of them feminine, and we have an adjective, So in this case, it is a kind of ambiguity because we do not know which noun is qualified by the adjective. And only the context can help us to see which noun is qualified in this case. But it doesn't happen very often because we usually do not have an adjective which qualifies one of the words in the word pair. And the last one about the construct form is the construct chain. Sometimes it is possible that several words are joined together in the construct relationship. Like, for example, Lev, Roche, Am, Haaretz. So you can see Ha is only here, and this word is an absolute form. And all other words are in the construct form. So it looks like the heart of the people, or the heart of the chiefs of the people of the land. So it is not very much correct because it's in plural. The heart of the chiefs of the people of the earth or of the land. Lev, Rasha, do you see this is the suffix of plural masculine, Am, Haaretz. So this is actually from the Bible. Do you see that sometimes several words can form this construct chain? When son of the queen of the land of something else. So it is possible in Hebrew, and in this case, all the words should stand in the construct relationship except the last one, which is supposed to be in the absolute form. So is it clear so far?
No,
Okay,
please.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, Prof, I want to understand how
okay,
you can go, Sister Nema.
Again, please.
Thank you. I wanted to ask, why have we given the Haaretz the article? In this case, why are we giving it the article?
So it is from the Bible. So because it is like a definite, everything is definite. So we can put, but it is possible to have the same phrase without article. But in this case, because it is definite and it is from the Bible, I just don't remember from which verse it is taken, but it is from the Bible. Okay? Any other questions?
But, excuse me, Prof.
Yes.
But, you know, the same remark that our sister says here, why don't you make the article here?
Where?
But you said that from the Bible. From the Bible, you say.
Yes.
So how?
Yes.
For example, if I am going to translate the Bible, you know, yeah. And I don't make it this article, for example. So what is who is the right? It is for Sri to make the article before this the house.
I didn't understand your question very well.
Okay, I understood him. What he's saying is this one. That you said that you answered that this is from the Bible.
Yes.
Now he's saying that if this is from the Bible, and we have already registered in our heads that this one doesn't need the article because it is absolute. Now, which is right, the Bible or the sentence you gave us? That is his question.
Oh, yeah. So it is correct. Grammatically, it is correct. Because we cannot have an article before the construct noun, construct nouns. So Lev is construct, the heart. Rosh, Rosha is construct. Am is construct. So we cannot put article anywhere here. The only place where we can put article is arets or erets, because it is in absolute form. It is the last word of the construct chain. So that is why, and the entire phrase is now definite because of this article. So that is why we translate it as definite, the heart of the chiefs of the people of the earth. So because everything is definite in this case.
Okay, does it mean that Eretz is in the absolute form? It is not in the construct form. That's why we give it an article.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, it is in absolute form.
So the Eretz can be a construct or an absolute form based on the context.
Yes, yes.
It can serve as a construct form or an absolute form looking at the sentence.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's try to make a construct form. For example, the word yom, day. How can we make the construct form?
It remains yom according to the principle.
It remains the same. Why? Because Holem Vav is unchangeable. So it cannot be reduced. So it is the same. Yeah, very well. Thank you. Zaken. So the first vowel, kametz, is supposed to be reduced to shiva.
Shiva.
Yes. And the second one is supposed to be also reduced to patach. Yeah, zekan. Zekan. So zaken, zekan, the construct form. Okay. Next one, mizbach. The first vowel, mis.
It stays the same.
It remains the same.
Yes, it cannot be reduced, and it is a very strange word because it has a patach furtivum. This one, so this patach furtivum will disappear, and tsere will transform to patach, mizbach. Okay. Zahav, gold. How can you do the construct form?
The first vowel changes to sheva.
Very well. And the second one?
The second one to
patach.
Patach. Very well, very well. Zahav. So I see that you already got this. Okay. Makom. What would be the construct state? The construct.
Mekom.
The kametz will become.
Yes, kametz will be transformed to sheva, and Holem Vav remains the same because it cannot be changed. Mekom. Okay, very well. Beracha. It will be a little bit more complicated. Okay, so it is a feminine noun. Beracha means blessing.
Yes.
Beracha means blessing. And because it is feminine, so definitely it should have ending patach taf.
Patach taf.
Yes. So let me do like this. Share the screen and I will write.
It loses the.
Okay. Beracha. So this is the absolute form. And now I will try, first of all, let me try to put the consonant. Okay, so this one would be the consonant of the same word. And we will have here chat in the end. Beracha, it should be like this, yes. And here we have Shiva. Kamets is supposed to be reduced to Shiva, so put Shiva here. And here, next Kamets is also supposed to be Shiva. So we have Berechat, yes? But we have the problem in the beginning of the word. If we have two Shivas, I don't know how to make it bigger. Okay. Font.
What happened to the Dagesh in Bet?
Yeah, it will remain. But we have problem. We have two Shivas. And in this case, if we have two Shivas, and the first one will be transformed to Hirek.
Yeah.
Birkat. And it seems to me, yes. So why do we have, do you remember the rule of the Shiva? If we have two Shiva going together, the first one is supposed to be silent, and the second one is supposed to be vocal.
Vocal.
At the beginning of the word, the first Shiva cannot be silent. So that is why they made a rule, and according to the rule, the first Shiva should be transformed to Hirek, and in this case we will have Birkat.
Wow.
Birkat, yes, Birkat, it means a blessing of. Okay, can you see?
Yes.
Yes, Birkat, and we have Dagesh Lena in Kaf. Yes, because it follows the consonant, so that is why Beracha it is changed. It appears the Dagesh Lena here appears. Birkat, and this is the blessing of. Let me show you again another word which is not in my presentation, but it's also very illustrative. And this is what Devarim. Devarim. So Devarim means it is the plural form of the Davar. Let us make the construct of the same word. Devarim, the construct would be, okay, let me put first, but I cannot understand one thing. So do you see Shiva here? Oh, sorry.
Why does the Shiva look like a Hirek?
Yeah, because, and I cannot change it anymore. Okay, let me, yeah, do you see? This is Devarim. Oh, okay, good. So let me do the construct of the same word. Let me put first the consonants. Oh, something wrong. So if I I don't know how to, okay, maybe like this. Oh no. Okay, let me write it again. Oh, yeah. So it should be like this. And the first vowel is Shiva already. And the second Kametz is supposed to be also reduced to Shiva. Again, we have the conflict of two Shivas. And because of that, they will change it to Hirek. And we will have Divre. So Devarim, it will be Divre. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, so this is just...
Why is it the Hirek could change there, Prof? Is it because it's not in a closed syllable?
Again?
If you can go back there, it seems like the Hirek changed on the last syllable.
No. Okay, let me go
from
back.
Devarim to Divre.
Yes, let me go back. So this one, yes.
Yes, Prof. In Devarim, the Hirek was changed.
No, which Hirek was changed? This
the
one?
Under the Rosh, yes.
This one, yes, because the ending of the... okay, I understood your question now. Let me go back to our presentation. Okay. Yes. So do you see this table? In absolute form, the ending is...
No problem, I see.
In the construct, it will be Tsereyot, Divre.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So
I can see it.
Okay. So Beracha, Birkat. Okay. Behema, it seems to me it could be a little bit unusual. Behemet. But I'm not sure why. I took it from the dictionary, but because I would make it... oh yeah, because do you see Behamat? Yes, but it is a little bit irregular. Okay, so this is about the construct chain, and I understand that sometimes it is not easy in the beginning, but very soon you will be used to this kind of constructs, because they happen actually very often in the Hebrew Bible. And now, what else? Okay, we have... Yes, the verbs with the first yod, the verbs with the first yod. And this is another class of weak verbs. And you can immediately understand the problem with these verbs. Because in yiktol, we will have two yods together. Like, for example, yiktol, it will be yod and yod again. And the problem with those verbs is that we have two classes of these verbs. In the first class, the letter yod was always there. But in the second class, yod was originally, it was letter vav. But later on, it was transformed to yod. And in some of the forms, this vav appears again. In the first class, we have only 7 verbs that belong to the first class. And actually, I do not ask you to memorize those words, because all of them, except yatav, to be good, except this word, all of them occur less than 100 times in the Bible. And in this course, we are not required to memorize the words which occur less than 100 times. So that is why in your vocabulary for today, you will have only word yatav to be good, and you will do not have any other of those verbs. But the second class, this is the class where the first yod was originally vav, but it was transformed to yod later on. These verbs are more common, and they occur very often in the Bible. And some of them you already know. For example, the word yashav, to sit, to dwell, to live. What happens with this word? This vav is assimilated with the vowel of the prefix. And usually in the prefix, we are supposed to have hirek. But in those verbs, we will have not hirek, but we will have tsere. And tsere will be an indicator that this is a verb with the first yod. And the mathematic vowel is also usually would be either patach or tsere. So, but you need to pay attention to this tsere. So if you have tsere under the prefix, so it means that one of this is yod. So one of this dot is yod, which is supposed to be here, but it is hidden. It is hidden under the prefix. Okay. Because in this case we have only two consonants of the root, and each Hebrew word should have 3 consonants. So in this case, it is clear that one consonant is missing. So if you look at the vowel here and see here tsere, it is an indicator that the first vowel of this root should be yod. So, and this is the root yashav. And all other changes, actually everything is the same. So you can see that everywhere we have tsere in the prefix, and it will be an indicator that this is the verb with the first yud. And in this is yiktal conjugation. In katal conjugation, there are no changes. So the katal conjugation is the same. Yes.
Does this rule apply to all the 7 verbs?
No. Wait. This rule is not applied to these verbs. Okay? Because in those verbs, yud was always a part of the root, and it will never disappear. It will never assimilate with any other with any other letter. So it will remain always. So that is why there is no problem with these verbs, with this group, because they will always retain yod in the root, and it will never hide under the prefix or whatever. So it will be always in the root. But in the second group, in the second class, we have this problem when yud disappears. And because it disappears, we can find where it disappears. But what is good in Hebrew language, they always compensate. So if one letter disappears, it cannot disappear without any trace. So that is why they give us a hint. And this tsere will show that yud is supposed to be here. And now these are the roots, the verbs, which belong to the second class, and which usually have these changes, like yada, to praise, yada, to know, yalat, you know this word, to give birth. Yatsa, probably you don't know this word, is to go out. Yare is to be afraid. And I know that many students, they confused two verbs, ra'a, to see, and yare, to be afraid of. And probably you are not an exception, and you will also have some problems with identifying of these verbs. So, but I can give you the very, very simple thing that you will later on, we will see the difference between them. Actually, to be afraid of, this word yare and yarash, they are a little bit different, because in the kal conjugation, letter yud will always be there, so it will not disappear. And this word yarash and yare will not behave as usually these verbs of the second class behave. So the yud in kal conjugation will be always there, but in other conjugation, this yud will be replaced with vav in some of the cases, but we will see it a little bit later. So yarat is to go down, yarash to inherit, and yashav, you know this word, to live, to dwell, to sit. One more verb which doesn't belong to this category, but which behaves exactly as the verb with the first yud, is the verb halach, to go. And in katal, it is the same, so it doesn't have much changes in katal, so everything is predictable in katal conjugation. But in yiktol conjugation, it behaves exactly as the verbs with the first yud. So this letter hey disappears, but in order to show that it disappeared, we have the lengthening of the vowel of the prefix. So instead of hirek, we have here tsere, and it is always here, like yelech, telech, telhi, elech, elhi, telachna, telhu, and telachna, and nelech. So you will see everywhere we have here tsere. And I need to warn you that this verb halach occurs very often. So it is one of the most common verbs in the Hebrew Bible. So that is why you have to be careful when you find this word, and very soon you will easily identify it. So it's not very difficult because it occurs very often. So I want
Excuse
to
me.
yes.
Excuse me, please. Just back to the graph.
Yeah.
Okay, to the table. Sorry.
Which one?
When you
this
are
one?
putting the right table, you are, yes, right there. When you are putting you are translating these words in this conjugation, are we just to add the pronouns and then the root remains the same?
Yes.
For example, you have given us this conjugation.
Yes.
But you have not given us the translation. For
Okay,
example,
let us translate together. Let us translate together. Like he will go. She will go. You masculine singular will go. You feminine singular will go. I will go. They will go. They feminine will go. You masculine will go, and you feminine will go, and we will go. So actually it is not very difficult, and you can translate it. And the same is with the katal conjugation, like he, she, you masculine, you feminine, I, they, you plural masculine, you plural feminine. I forgot where is my pointer? Yes, and the final one is we went. Yes. Okay, so any other questions about that?
Thank you, Prof. And thank you. In fact, Nema, I thank Nema for that question, because in the previous lesson, because we did not practice so much of the will, and it became a very big problem for those especially who are not so keen in the sense translation of the Yikto. And thank you so much, Prof.
Translation of the verbs, Pastor.
Yes,
Translate the following verb. This is where we meet this problem.
Okay. But good that you practice, and you will continue. So I will include this exercise translating the verbs every time. So you will always have to do this. And the more you do it, the better you do it. And actually it is a matter of habit. So if you do it quite often, So very soon we will not have any problems in translating the verbs. But this is the most essential part in Hebrew, because Hebrew is based on the verbs. So if you understand the verbs, you can understand everything in Hebrew, because not so much grammar on nouns or adjectives. It is just minor things, but the verbs are important. So that is why we spent a lot of time analyzing the verbs. Okay, one more verb, which is also very tricky, but because it occurs very often, it occurs as often as the verb halach, to go. Natan is to give. So it's easy to remember because we have the same name in the Bible, the prophet Nathan, and Nathaniel, the name, which means the one which is given by God. So Natan means to give. And the problem with this verb, and it is another problem, that the consonant nun and consonant tav are these two consonants that are often assimilated together. So for example, when we say nt, n is supposed to disappear, and tav is more is stronger than nun in this case. So, and what happened? Let us take a look at the Katal conjugation. So Natan is correct. Natana is also not a problem here. But here, what happened here? Do you see? The final nun, what happens with the final nun? It just assimilated with the following tav. And the following tav got dagesh forte in this case, natat-ta. And this dagesh forte just indicates that it is not just one tav here, but one more consonant is hidden here. And this is the consonant nun. So do you see, in this case, we have like only two consonants of the root, and we need to provide another one, and another one is nun. And the same is here, and here the same as well. So we can see that last nun is assimilated with the suffix. And
sorry.
Yes, yes.
Kindly translate for me the first singular word in English.
Okay, Nathan, he gave. Natana, she gave.
Okay, right there, I'm just having a question right there.
Yeah.
We say that Nathan is to give.
Yes.
But now when it comes to this table, when it stands here, we say he gave.
Yes, because the vocabulary.
Now, okay.
Yes.
My question, okay, sorry, Prof.
Yeah.
My question is this now. When you find it in a sentence, the spelling is the same.
Yeah.
As you can see, the spelling is the same. How will I know that now it is used as a singular form of the third pronoun? How will I know that?
So do you see, we know that the vocabulary form is a third masculine singular, the vocabulary form. But we usually, when we translate vocabulary, we can translate it with the indefinite form. But in the sentence, it is third masculine singular. So only when we translate the vocabulary, we translate it as to give. But if we see the same in the sentence, so we translate it as it is supposed to be, because Nathan is the form of he gave, not to give. But in the vocabulary, in the dictionary, it is translated like this. So is it clear?
Thank you.
Okay. So he gave, she gave, you, singular, masculine, gave, you, feminine, singular, gave, and I gave. And here they gave, you, masculine, plural, gave, you, masculine or feminine, plural, gave, and we gave. And the same we can see in the Yiktol. But in Yiktol, not the last nun assimilates, but the first nun assimilates with the second taf, with the second consonant of the root. So Yit 10, here we have Dagesh forte, and this Dagesh forte indicates that this is actually not one consonant, but two consonants here. Yin 10 it is supposed to be, but because nun and taf assimilate together, so we have Yit 10, Tit 10, Tit 10, Tit 10, Et 10. Yit nu, Tit 10 na, and here we have both. The first nun assimilates and the second nun assimilates, and here we have Dagesh because two nuns are together, the one from the ending and another one from the root. Okay? So Titena, Titenu, Titena, and Niten. So I don't ask you to memorize this paradigm because it's too much. The only thing that I would like to ask from you is to understand the principles. And the principle is very simple. In Katal conjugation, last nun assimilates with the suffix, and in the Yiktol conjugation, first nun assimilates with the second word of the root. And you are supposed to recognize those verbs in the sentences. And
sorry, Professor.
Yes, please, Professor.
Yeah, could we say that it's the Dagesh who show us that they are an assimilation?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This Dagesh.
The Dagesh.
Dagesh forte. So
okay.
Do you see? Here we have Dagesh forte because it shows that the assimilation took place. And always we will have here Dagesh forte. Okay?
Please, Professor.
Please, okay, thanks.
Professor.
Yes.
Please, Professor.
Yes.
Could me help translate in Yiktol?
Okay, let's translate together Yiktol.
Yes.
Yit 10, he will give. Tit 10, she will give. Tit 10, you, masculine singular, will give. Tit 10, you, feminine singular, will give. At 10, I will give. Yit nu, they, masculine, will give. Tit na, they, feminine, will give. Tit nu, you, masculine plural, will give. Tit na, you, feminine plural, will give. And nit 10, we will give.
Thank you, Professor.
Okay. Okay, so we can continue. Another tricky verb, which
excuse me.
Yes.
Does it mean Yiktol now is a future and then Katal is past?
Yes. So for our purposes, we will always translate Yiktol as future and Katal as past. Katal is always past, except the Katal construction, but we will study it probably during the readings. But Yiktol, it could have many different meanings, like modal meaning, some other meanings could be also in Yiktol conjugation. But for our purposes, to simplify everything, we will always translate Yiktol as future and Katal as past. Okay? So another tricky verb is lakach. And again, we have the same problem with the as with the Natan. And the situation here is that lamet is assimilated in Yiktol conjugation with kof.
Sorry, Professor. Sorry, just to know, for the Vayiktol form, is there some difference?
No,
the Vayiktol form.
no difference. So Vayiktol will be formed according to the same rules.
Okay, okay. Just add the Vav
Yes.
at the beginning.
Yes, Vav,
Okay.
and you can make it double the letter
The
of
Yod.
prefix
Okay.
should have Dagesh forte.
Excuse me.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, any other questions?
Yes. Yes, bro.
Yes, please.
The Vaikto seems to be like Qatar, especially when you are dealing with the Yikto. When it changes to Vaikto, it is as if it changes to Qatar. What is the difference?
Okay, so you mean in translation? The
Yes.
same. Yes. So the difference is how they used these two forms. And again, I don't want to spend much time explaining it in this class. We will do it more when we study Hebrew readings.
All right, all right.
When we study the Hebrew readings, we will spend a lot of time to see the difference between Vayiktol and Katal. And it is actually, the difference is that Vayiktol is usually translated as past simple, and the Katal could be translated as past perfect in many cases. So this is the difference. But for our purposes, we can translate it both of them just like any of the past tenses. Okay. So the verb lakach. So is it clear how the conjugation is formed? I also do not ask you to memorize it because it doesn't make sense, but you need to understand the principle. So where the lamet is, and you can see that lamet is hidden in kof, and this dagesh forte indicates that it is not one letter, but we have two letters here. So it should be Yilkach, but because lamet and kof assimilated, so we have Yikach, and we have the same everywhere. Yikach, Tikach, Tikach, Tikehi, and so on and so forth. So it is clear, and just when you meet this verb in the sentences, please recognize them, and I think it will not be very difficult for you. And the last one is haya, and haya means to be, and this is a completely weak verb because it has first a hey, last a hey, and yod in the middle. So it is just irregular in all things. So that is why the only thing that we need to do is just to memorize the conjugation of this verb. But anyway, so you are not required to conjugate this verb. But what you are required to do is just to recognize all those forms when you meet them in the sentences. Okay. Any other questions? No questions. So everything is clear. Yes.
Okay, my question.
Yes.
Or let me just say that if it could be possible for you when you are providing these notes. You see, I thought that I'm the only one who is having the problem with the translation when it is in this conjugation form, especially in Hebrew. If you can put the English translation, it could be better. But if it is impossible, then we can just study it like that.
No, it's possible. It's possible. So what you ask me to do, to provide, when I have a paradigm of conjugation, you want me to provide the English translation of the paradigm. Yes? Am I correct?
Yes, you're correct.
Okay.
I will try to do this, and today...
it will help us to master the verbs, Prof.
Oh, yeah, okay. So if it helps you, I need to do this. Okay. I will do the translation. Anything else? So in the assignments of this week is as usual. So you will have the vocabulary quiz, you will have the missing word assignment, you will have some exercises on the construct. And I don't give you for translation, only probably in the lecture. When you study the lecture, you will have some translations, but it is just minor issue. And I will not give you translation for this class. But for the next class, I will give you a text. I will give you a text in Hebrew. And so far, we just translated just sentences. But in this case, you will have a text and you will need to translate the text. And it's difficult for me to make it automatically assessed. But in the middle term exam, you will also have a similar assignment. You will have the assignment to translate a short text. So please be prepared for it, because starting from this class and on, we will always have like short texts for translation, and your task will be to translate them. Okay?
Excuse me.
Yes.
Are we going to translate them, translate and send to you, or in the Moodle? If it is in the Moodle, it's I think we are going to fail.
No. That is why. So most probably, what I will ask you to do, it will be an assignment that it is not evaluated by Moodle, but it will be assessed by myself. So it will be a kind of essay, and you will need to translate it, and you will need just to write it down in the Moodle. And I will just manually check all of them, and I will give you the grade for this assignment. But the only problem in this case that you will have only one attempt, so you can
average.
No. But do you see, it will be a problem for me, because I will need to assess all your attempts. You understand? So you did one attempt, and I need time to read it, and I need time to translate, to evaluate it. And after that, if you're not satisfied with your grade, you can do it again, and I need to do it again, and again, and again, and again. So that is why it is a little bit tricky for me and for you as well. But I understand that we need to do this kind of work, because translation is the most essential part. And let me change to the normal mode. The translation is the most essential part, and sometimes, not sometimes, I saw many examples of people when they are able to translate each word in the sentence, but they are not able to put everything together so it will make sense. And especially we have to understand the Hebrew people, they have different mentality, and they have different ways to express their thoughts and their feelings, and that is why we need to use to it, and we need time to do this. Okay, so far we almost run out of time. Yes, if you have any questions, I'm here to.
Yeah, I'm still having some problem with the SBL. I tried to contact SBL. Somebody said that I can as well download it from Google. I tried, but again, to get it as from the keyboard, it's difficult.
Yes, so you cannot download it from Google, but you can download it from the SBL website, Society of Biblical Literature website, and they provide this font for free. So everybody can use it, and in order to use it, because it's not just a normal font for everyday use, it is like for biblical languages. That is why it goes together with the driver, keyboard driver. So what you need to do, you need to install the font, and in addition to that, you need to install the driver, keyboard driver. And after you install both of them, so you will have them in your tray, in your desktop or laptop, and you will be able to use it. So you can change the keyboards, and it seems to me it also we will have like two different keyboards. SIL, for example, I have two, SIL and SB something else. Like the keyboard which is used for modern Hebrew, and it is different than the keyboard which is used for SBL Hebrew. That is why you need additional driver. Pastor Mori, Pastor Mario, are you here with us? Can you hear us?
Yes, Prof.
Yes,
I am here.
Yeah, I know that you helped already many people to do this. So what kind of, maybe you can, because I installed long time ago, I could not remember all the details. Can you just tell us what are the tricks that you need to remember when you install the font and the driver?
Yeah. After downloading the driver, just there are two kinds of driver, and we can choose one of them and just install the driver, and you will have it in your laptop. But you have to change the keyboard from English to Hebrew. There is some you can click on Alt and Shift together to change it. But for you, Pastor Frederick, I just saw your message in WhatsApp.
Yes.
But I have some challenge last week with my connection. I cannot. Yeah. So today I just saw your message. So already answer your message, but I can wait for you after this class, so I can help you. You and Naftali. Naftali asked me also, and maybe Pastor Laurent also. I wait for you just right now after our class. I can help you.
Okay. That's good.
Okay. So
thank you, Pastor Peter.
May I ask you just a question? Who was able already to install the Hebrew font, and who already can use it? Can you just raise your hands in the participants block, so I will see? So I can see Pastor Poswa raised the hand. I know Pastor Neema can use it because I saw her results in the class. Pastor Harry, of course. Pastor Gary Woodcock, can you use the Hebrew keyboard?
I have installed yesterday, so I'm already installed, but I need to install other font.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'll more or less 95% need to finish.
Okay, good. So I don't see, of course, Pastor Mori can, but I can see your hand. But I suppose you can use it because you help other people. Pastor Butale, can you?
I have a question. I'm still struggling in terms of installing the font also.
Okay. So somebody ask a question.
Please. I have the Hebrew, but
yes, I have a question.
I think I'm not able to type in the vowels,
Okay. But if you have it, yes, I can just put manual. It is also can be downloaded from the SBL website. And in this manual, you can find the layout of the keyboard, and you can just look at the layout and you can use it with any major difficulties. Yes, one more question I heard. Somebody.
We need the link.
I wanted to tell Pastor Eric. That if he's having it, when you press on shift, it will take you to vowels. If you press shift again, it will take you to consonants, and it works automatically. For example, if it is if you press the shift and it takes you to the vowels, it will also leave the consonant that is supposed to take. So it works automatically with those shifts that are written on the keyboard.
Yeah, it's not difficult at all. So okay, next time we will discuss it. If you wish, we can spend a little of time to discuss it. Yeah, somebody else wanted to ask a question.
I also had a request.
It was only about that keyboard.
Excuse me, I had a request. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question about that keyboard.
Okay, Pastor Michael, yes. We cannot hear you very well. Can you?
I was absent for many days because of work. I missed timed the class. Please.
Pastor
Can
Michael.
You hear me? Yes.
Yes, we can hear you, but with some interruptions. So can you please type your question in the chat box, and we can see it. Okay?
Okay, let me chat now.
Yeah, good. And while you are chatting, Pastor Neema, you said you had...
I had a request, Prof. I had a request that as we most if not all are at workplace now and are doing some work activities. I'm requesting, if it won't be a problem to you, that you just cite for us the areas where you think you will concentrate on the midterm, so that we can start prior preparations. Yeah, if it will be only the issue of translation, we should know. If it will work also with other topics that we did, there should be actually specific areas where you think that you'll go through the midterm, so that as we also work, we also prepare for midterm, we also continue with our office work. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. It's a good question, and thank you for asking this question. So what we will usually have during the midterm exam, it will have like two parts. The one part will be just the questions, random questions from the previous quizzes. It could be, what could it be? It could be translating the verb you will have. So you will need to translate the verb. And you will have it during the midterm exam. Insert a missing word, you will have it. And probably, I don't know, maybe some other issues that are not consistently we have these exercises, but something for example from the construct state, something from the some other issues. You can have just some of the questions from the previous quizzes. And one more part that you will have, this is a part on translation the text. So you are given the text and you are supposed to translate the text. But I will provide for you an example. So I will give you the text very soon, probably even this week. I will upload it to the Moodle, and you can try to practice translating the text. Okay, so this will be the most essential assignment, and I don't know yet, I have not decided yet how to do it, but maybe what I can do, I can provide like, it will be like 5 or 6 different short texts, and you will randomly have one of them. So in this case, you will not, all of you will not have the same text. So probably you'll have different texts. But it will be given for you randomly. So you can just pick up the text and you can, but it will not be very long because I understand it is difficult for you. It will be a short one, and you will have time restriction for this quiz. So it will not be like, it will be mostly like module quiz. It will be like module quiz. But we will be restricted in time doing this. And what else? The part with the translation, I will evaluate manually. So I will do it by myself because I cannot trust Moodle, because Moodle can make there are many possibilities to translate the same sentence, and it's very difficult to provide all variants that are possible. So that is why I will do it myself. Okay, any other questions?
Thank you very much, Prof. God bless you.
Okay. So if you don't have questions, we can finish our class for today. And I would
question is on the chat.
Yeah.
The chat.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot. There is some questions on the chat. Because I have been absent few classes, I don't know how to get the keyboard link for typing Hebrew. Please assist me to get it. Oh, it's not a problem, I think, and we can do it. Pastor Harry has just sent it to the WhatsApp group. I might ask Pastor Harry to resend it again to the WhatsApp group, so because it could be lost somewhere in the previous discussions, and just to review the link. My cell phone was stolen recently. Please, I am not on WhatsApp. Okay, so in this case, don't worry. I will send the link to your email to every one of you. Okay, just after we finish this class, I will send the link to all of you.
Even the book, the textbook. I would like it to be in the email so that I can download it right from there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other requests or any other suggestions? Okay, so if you don't have anything else, let us pray and we can be dismissed. Let us pray. Our dear Heavenly Father, thank you very much for this opportunity for us to be again together and to study these important topics about the Hebrew language, and help us to understand this language so that we can be able to read your holy message that you left for us. And it is not a coincidence and it is not accidental that you picked up this language to live your holy scriptures. So give us patience, give us love to this language, and help us on the way, because we have many challenges, we have many difficulties, but we believe in you, and we know that with your help we can do everything when you support us. Our dear Lord, I especially would like to ask you now about all our students, especially now when they come back to the work and they have a lot of responsibilities. And it's very difficult to combine studying, work, and family life. So I would like to ask you, please be with them and help them and provide all their needs and help them to be successful. I ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 Amen.